Well, what a fantastic performance from the Sri Lankan spinners. And yes,
but unfortunately, the focus is once again on those stupid blue tarpaulin sheets, which I am sick of seeing at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, don't call them stupid. They've been saving matches.
Yeah, but again, rain has saved India at this point in time.
Save them from what? I mean, from nothing. We had 3 more overs. It's not like there's 20 overs.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you can ensure that perhaps India didn't have to get bowled out. That was the one embarrassment.
The other thing which could be, but again, I know we're looking really far ahead, but a DLS adjusted score
could benefit Sri Lanka.
Correct.
Could benefit Sri Lanka because India started off brilliantly, but then towards
you lost a lot of wickets.
You lost wickets towards the 15th to the 20th over mark, and then after that you never recovered. See, you had a partnership of 80 at the top in about 12 overs.
And then that 63 between Pandya.
That's it, but it was scored at a very slow rate. But the star for the Sri Lankan team, Dunith Nektim Vellala, the 2022 under-19 champion for Sri Lanka. He was the leading run getter and the leading wicket taker also.
Yeah.
So we are joined by Nikhil from the Ketarama at this point. Nikhil, is the rain now steady or is it slowed down?
It is kind of slowed down at the moment. It's a slight drizzle, but I can see ominous clouds all around us. Dark clouds at that, so most likely you are going to get some consistent rain. Though it's slowed down right now after that pour that we had just a couple of minutes ago, but it's kind of slowed down now. But I suspect it's going to get more intense. It's going to get worse in some time right now. So I don't think the covers will be taken off immediately. There's a slight drizzle as I speak, but it could get intense because the dark clouds, the threatening dark clouds, are just around the corner. So this will be a long amount of delay. Maybe you'll count down to that 1.5 hour buffer that we have, and then let's see if it exceeds that. For the moment, I don't see immediate resumption of play. I do not see a situation where they're immediately going to be removing the cover as such. So that's the latest from the stadium. The rain intensity has reduced, but it's still raining. So unlikely that for the next hour and a half you're going to have any sort of play. And now it's now coming down harder. So it's going to be a long break. Most likely, for all you know, this could be then, if you go past that 1.5 hour, then this would then be the middle of the innings. This could be the halfway stage as we speak, and then Sri Lanka just come out the bat immediately. It seems like that. Rain was expected. If you remember, our reports in the morning had said around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, rain was expected. But the rain was expected till about 7:38 or something like that. Not beyond that, which means that even if the rain stops at 7-ish, 7:30-ish, and you start the game around 8:30 or something like that, you will have a dry spell later in the day. So you might get a game. I know a lot of Indian fans at the moment would be hoping for that the rain stays on after the batting display that we've seen. I think the shoe is on the other foot. Yesterday, I'm guessing the Pakistan fans were hoping for the rain to continue. I'm guessing the Indian fans would be feeling like that today. But the weather department prediction has been right today. Rain was expected at this time. It's come. And if I'm guessing if this bit is right, then let the rest of it be right as well. That rain stops before 8 p.m. And you take another hour and a half to dry it. So by 9:30 maybe you get to see some play.
Yep. And remember, there is no reserve day for India versus Sri Lanka. Shock and horror, well, it's expected. No reserve day.
For the 100th time Siddharth is mentioning that.
Yes. But what a performance. I mean, today I was reminded of the talent that Dunith Nektim Vellalage possesses, because I had seen him in the Under-19 World Cup in 2022, how he had performed, and it's no surprise that he's done it on these particular kind of wickets, because the Ketarama would have resembled like those wickets in Antigua. Slow, low, turn, it assists the spinners a lot, and that's why it was no wonder he ended with 17 wickets in that season, and also scored about 264 runs, batting at number 5, number 6. So that is why Vellalage and India would be much more concerned that they gave 4 wickets to Charit Asalanka.
Who before this match, by the way, had taken a grand total of 1 wicket.
1 wicket.
In ODIs.
In 38 ODIs prior to this, he had taken only 1 wicket. That was of Andile Fekkelkoyo at the Premadasa in 2021.
So he loves the Premadasa then?
So he quadrupled that tally today against the team that is the best in the world when it comes to spin, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Hasn't been the case.
Yeah, I mean, all our top order batters often struggle against left arm spin. I mean, Shakib showed it in Mirpur. Taijul showed it in the tests. Now, Vellalage, that's why Pakistan not playing a Mohammad Nawaz.
Very interesting.
Yesterday, and you played 4 pacers. What was that all about? But then Nikhil, once again, the frailties against left arm spin. India may have ironed out some flaws in that game against Pakistan against left arm pace, but against spin, left arm spin, that seems to have not gone away entirely.
No, see, spin's been India's Achilles heels for some time. We've, spoken about it. It's well documented. We've spoken about it a lot in our discussions on Sports Today. It's happened once again. But just to give the Indian batters a bit of benefit of the doubt, it's really not easy. This is like a typical Sri Lankan wickets where, my initial assessment when I saw the first few overs was 260-70 would have been a winning total. And I'm going to change that assessment, not just basis of how Indian batters have performed, but on the basis of what I saw the ball was doing on the pitch. It was really gripping, making it very, very tough for any batter to bat. Some of them looking like Muthaiya Muralidharan and Shane Warne bowling. That's clearly not the case. You know the quality of spin that is on offer, whether it's Dhananjay De Silva or Asalanka. Vellalage, the only, recognized spinner as such. So the others also looking threatening tells you that this pitch is going to be a lot of assistance to spinners, and it's really gripping the ball here, really gripping. It's not going to be easy for any batter. So it's not so much about India's, India not being capable of handling this spin here, but it's more so about how the pitch was behaving, and it was not going to be easy. Which is why I think I recalibrated that assessment of what would be a winning total from about 260-70 to about 220-230. It seemed like that. India still well short of that, but I think it'll still be an interesting chase. It'll be an interesting chase to see how the Sri Lankan batters cope up against Indian spinners, and smartly enough, India have gone in with 3 spin bowlers, so which is again some great bit of news. You can hear the crowd screaming, and that's because the rain seems to have stopped at the moment. It's not raining anymore, but let that not fool you into thinking that it's the end of the raining spell, because the real threatening dark clouds are just hanging around here. So they'll keep coming. I don't think it's going to be an end spell that you'll have. I can see complete, and I know where the bad weather comes from to the right of me. So by the time that comes, I think you will have a longer delay. It's not going to be a short delay. It'll be a longer delay. So now it's stopped at the moment, but that's only going to be briefly. The threatening clouds are still coming from here.
Yeah, in fact, the Ketarama, the entire outfield is covered. It's covered at this point, and they had shown a long shot of Colombo, and you could see from the ocean that the rain was coming.
Clouds.
So yeah, I think you're going to see some big delay at this point in time, especially once it starts. I really wonder how they can ensure, but this time they've gotten the ground covered entirely and much before time. So the delay won't be as big as it was in the game against Pakistan on September 10th, because the intensity was so severe. Within 1-2 minutes, there were puddles on the outfield which was covered, and the Ketarama didn't recover from that. So let's see. The ground staff have done their work this time. Now only the rain has to stop, and they'll be ready then.
But again, if you look at even what we saw the visuals on TV, even in fact behind Nikhil, you can see that there's some pretty dark clouds over there. It doesn't look like I think if the rain's awaited for now, I think it's only for now.
It is.
And if we've learnt anything from the past, ever since the Asia Cup has been going on, if we've learnt anything about Sri Lankan weather, is that the rain doesn't stop very easily.
True.
It doesn't.
Especially when it looks like that.
Yeah. It doesn't. So Nikhil, you're going to show us some, because you're going to show us something about.
Go ahead, have a look at the dark clouds that you can see. So if you see any patches, those are the blue patches that you see. but the rest of it is very dark. Let me also show you a little bit more clearly. If you see the bad weather, that's where the bad weather comes from. And you can see it's completely dark, very, very threatening cloud. The light bit is where you see the light clouds, but rest of it is very dark. So, yeah, not looking great at the moment. This could well be mid-innings. This could very well be mid-innings.
Yeah, but then Nikhil, the playing condition is if you don't resume after 1 hour 10 minutes. What happened? Oh, it's gotten cut. Okay. I think we have some network issues there, but
I think the timing will be still 10:30 if I'm not wrong, right?
But that's for a 20 over game. Right now, you still don't know. This innings is not completed yet. So, of course, if you lose a lot of time, then they'll just give a DLS.
yeah, because I was wondering if suppose after 40 minutes, 40 or 50 minutes, or even an hour,
They might just actually call it an innings.
Yeah.
is it?
I don't know.
Because
Innings. Okay.
because
And
if
what
it's 1 hour, but you've technically not lost any overs, can they come back?
That's the thing. I don't know.
what's the cutoff time?
The cutoff time is in a normal this thing in Palakere, which was the case, it was 10:36. 10:36 PM IST was the last cutoff time for a 20
For a
over game.
20 over match.
Yeah, but also we had that sort of timing, right? That 1 hour something.
1 minute every 4 minutes and over.
Not that one.
Then
We had another measure for it as well. That if the rain comes, there was one measure in India versus Pakistan that had been extended.
let us not even count India Pakistan. There were
I know
rules
there
were
were
bent.
Exactly.
Rules were bent. Time
There was a lot of
extended.
complications.
Yeah.
The timings were made. I mean, extended in
3 hours at that time.
Exactly.
3 hours, but not for this.
Yeah, for this, it's I think generally speaking, it's 1 hour 10, but I think the playing conditions for the Asia Cup, maybe it's an hour and a half. So, hour and a half means what time exactly did it start raining?
It started about 10-15 minutes back.
Okay, so we still have a lot of time really before we start losing any overs.
But
So,
looking at those clouds,
6:23 is approximate. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
so 15 minutes.
it's about 15 minutes really. So, I think at this point you're still good. But again, the fact is the rain stopped. They haven't taken up the covers because they anticipate more, cloud. In fact, Sharan Rakota was asking Nikhil, is it still raining behind you? It looks clear. My friend, look at the visuals he showed after that. It's not looking good. It's black. It's pitch black.
Yep, it might rain because looking at the long shot, if it's coming from the ocean side, then traditionally you'll have a drizzle, but then after that, the next band that comes is about 25 minutes later, where
Correct.
you will see the real absolute pelting down of the rain that has happened. See, the ground staff are stationed,
exactly.
so they may be having some local input that perhaps if you want to bat 3 overs, you can, and then go off for the innings break, cover the ground, and then hope that the worst of the rain goes off at that time. So, in that way, you don't lose overs also. So, that's the situation.
That would be the best case scenario.
Best case scenario, but I don't think they are immediately removing the covers because they got the entire Ketarama covered. And remember, to get all the covers off will take at least 15 minutes. And all the cleaning up, mopping up, all that. So that's why.
And then if we're expecting an hour or two of rain, it's going to take another hour to get the ground prepared because there's going to be a lot of dew and a lot of moisture over there.
Yep. Because see, 10:27, 10:36 is the cutoff for a T20.
Yeah.
In this particular encounter, you're not going into the reserve day.
Because there is no reserve.
There
right?
isn't one. So that's why I think the playing conditions will be compensated as according to normal times in that case.
Yeah.
So,
No extensions here.
yep, but yeah, this is a very good video that they have shown you. The way how the Sri Lankans celebrate. Looking at it, the crowd built up after about 4-5 o'clock. Ketarama was packed, and that's why, yeah. Please come in, Harshad. So it is. Yep, it's pouring at this moment. If I were to say in the next 5 to 10 minutes, it could pour at this time. So let's pray it's a short, sharp drizzle and not a heavy, long spell like we had for 4.5 hours that we had in the Pakistan match. So that's the situation we have. Just a minute. So
Yeah, so in essence, right now, though, what we're really looking out for, because again, if you see the visuals on air, it's not raining. So what you're really looking out for is, I think, that second burst of rain, and that second burst, more often than not, is actually what kills you.
it does. So that's why fingers crossed that you don't get a long spell of rain at this point. So that's the thing. The covers are still firmly in place. The ground staff are just waiting for any further instructions. That's it. Because there's a patch, there's a bunch of ground staff at certain ends. I think they're stationed there. If they get the signal, immediately remove the covers. Then they can do it easily. Then they can just peel it off. They think that the rain will not come. So.
But then the question still stands. Look at those clouds.
Yeah.
I'm saying, no, that's second
at
wave.
At this point, I think the Sri Lankan groundsmen are just, it's more of a prevention.
It is. Because they don't want to be taken off guard like what happened in the Pakistan game.
Yeah, that costed a lot.
That cost you a lot.
The game could have ended that day if you're looking at it.
Yeah. Well, it didn't end that day. They had a special provision looking at the weather. So
Let's not go over that again.
Let's not go over there all over again. Because for 5 days, the build-up of the India-Pakistan match happened. The main thing was weather, and then you had the reserve day fiasco. So that's the situation that's there. But let's focus on this game. I mean, Rohit Sharma started brilliantly. He got past 10,000 runs, second quickest after Virat Kohli. I mean, Virat Kohli 205. Imagine, from 10,000 to 13,000, he's taken only 62 innings. Virat Kohli, 3,000 runs. And that's.
But I think the downfall started once actually Shubman was gone. That first ball from that first wicket from Velalage.
First ball only. You're right.
Wasn't the first ball?
Yes.
No, wasn't the first ball?
Yeah.
No, I think it was the first over. Right?
Yeah, first over, not first ball.
Let's check.
I'll
check.
Because I remember, I think he bowled a couple, but that ball, the way it landed, the way it turned, that I think was the best ball in the match.
Yes.
Because it was the perfect dismissal. There was nothing anyone could have done about it. And in that sense, it was perfect.
Yep.
And first
11.1, first ball.
Oh, my
He
God.
got Shubman first ball.
Oh my God.
And Hardik Pandya getting rid of Babar Azam was a top ball. No, boss. It's been trumped by Vellalage's dismissal of Shubman.
Too good. Too good.
But by the way, I just realized one thing. Sri Lanka actually used 4 spinners in this match.
Yep.
Yeah.
India might actually fall short by a spinner because they actually, even with the inclusion of one, have only 3. You don't have a part-timer.
Rohit could bowl.
Are we missing a certain Yuzi Chahal now?
We could see Virat play. Virat bowl.
Virat is a quick bowler.
Yeah, he's quick.
Dibbly-dobbly at best.
By his own definition, he's quick.
Yeah.
120 is.
But then again, by my own definition, I'm the best bowler since Sunil Narayan. So
Exactly.
what do we know about ourselves?
Yep. So maybe Rohit could bowl.
I doubt. When is the last time I recall seeing him bowl?
About 4-5 years back. I don't see Rohit bowling at all. But
I think the only other one who you could have potentially turned to is again someone who's injured, Shreyas.
Shreyas Iyer.
He bowls leg spin, off spin, both. But again, you have to be fit first.
You have to be fit. Yep. So and also don't remember Vellalage also took a catch.
That was a good catch.
It was a good catch.
He was involved in all of the 5 wickets that fell, and that doesn't include his 5th wicket, which also, by the way, if I'm not wrong, he got off the final ball of his 10 overs.
Hardik Pandya.
So the first 4, he got the top 4. Then the 5th wicket fell to Asalanka, but his involvement was there. He took that brilliant catch, 2.6 meter above the ground. I think I saw him go. So he was involved in all the 5 wickets. Then comes back. We have this little cameo of sorts, let's say, from Asalanka, where he is the one dominating, dismissing the likes of Kuldeep on the very first ball and whatnot. Indians struggling against spin, and then he comes back for his final over. If there was anyone in this entire Asia Cup who's deserved a 5-wicket haul, it had to be him. And I'm happy with the guy. Truth be told, even though India has struggled here, the Sri Lankan spinners completely dismantling the Indian batting order. But again, for the beautiful bowling that he did, he deserved a 5.
Is it the first 5-wicket haul of this Asia Cup? That we'll have to check.
No.
Shaheen.
No, Shaheen.
Then Kuldeep got one yesterday.
Oh yeah, yesterday.
Oh yeah, how can
5
we
25.
forget?
Yep.
I'm saying some Indian only got it. Yesterday only Kuldeep
Yesterday
got
only
it.
Kuldeep. Are
What
they
is
getting
this,
in?
yeah?
Are they peeling the covers off?
I think so. Or maybe they're just putting in the second layer or something like that, because there seems to be a lot of commotion on the ground.
Yeah, I did see a lot of ground staff run towards one particular patch wherein I think they had to remove the excess water, I think, and then put it back.
Could be.
So I don't know. They're not showing the ground staff action at this point in time. It's a big. Oh, they are removing the covers.
Oh, there.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Yeah. So no overs will be lost. They will come back for the resumption. They'll bowl 3 overs, and You go off for the innings break.
I mean, to be fair, 3 overs. If I were India, I'd hope they got called off because your batsmen looked at sea out there against the spinners. And by the way, again, of the all the overs that are bowled so far, 47, only 10 have been bowled by pacers. 10.
Yep.
So actually today, you've missed a trick. You should have included 4 spinners, but you didn't have 4 spinners because UCHL is playing county cricket.
He is playing county cricket and he's not playing the World Cup also. So let us not kid ourselves on that.
So even in the World Cup, you won't have a fourth.
Exactly.
Whatever track you could be playing at, could be in Chennai, could be at the Ekana.
You're not playing 4.
You're not playing for. Could be Kolkata, could be Delhi, whatever it may be.
Yeah, but I'm
You're not playing
tempted to call this pitch. Would you want this kind of a pitch for preparation?
For the World Cup?
For World Cup preparation also?
No, for the World Cup preparation, the kind of pitch you would have wanted was the one you got against Pakistan.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get similar kind of pitches, belters, which don't give the bowlers a lot. But again, that's why, to be fair, this is an age-old problem that you've had with your batting. Because a lot of your players, a lot of your batters are used to batting on pacier tracks.
Yep.
That spin-friendly tracks. And today you saw the ball was absolutely gripping. That cotton ball of KL Rahul, it gripped so much that KL was kind of halfway through his shot when he shouldn't have been.
Yep. See,
in fact, both with his dismissal and that of Kohli, the one thing I was thinking was perhaps I think the ball did stop at both of them and had that extra bit of bounce as well, which is why again Virat was committed to the shot, just that the ball climbed on him, so he could not have grounded the ball out, played it to the ground, ended up finding the fielder. Same with KL, I felt he dropped back to the back foot, but the ball bounced on him and he was just caught there.
Same problem.
But
Same technical problem.
with
Look
KL,
at all the 3 who got out. Rohit, back foot, stayed low, out. Virat, he has to get out of that rut because he'll go on the back foot.
and not just that, he'll go on the back foot and he has that one shot against a spinner when he's in trouble.
Yep.
That one flick he goes for, they had the fielder there for it, by the way.
Yes.
So it's not like they didn't know.
They knew
A
it.
shot made.
KL also, same problem. Same problem.
So actually, for this kind of a match, you were really missing a Shreyas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Shreyas plays spin immaculately.
Yeah, in fact, he would have used his feet for some of those balls. Because if he do that once or twice, then you're putting that doubt in the mind of the bowler. Should I toss it up as much? Should I look to be that aggressive? Today, though, everyone was playing in the back foot, so the spinners actually got a lot of confidence. They said that, yeah, you know what? You could actually bowl attackingly to these guys rather than look to contain. Because again, we were discussing Asalanka before this match had 1 ODI wicket. He's now got 5.
He's now got 5. Yeah, he's quadrupled it.
We've made him look very good.
Yeah. I mean, he bowled the right length.
No, it's conventional off spin.
Yeah.
As much, let's say, you would expect from free
Anyone.
bowler or let's say second string bowler, let's say. Nothing with the action. Again, it was reminding me of Iftikhar, by the way, yesterday, who you were picking extremely well yesterday and talking for 6s.
No,
But
then
different pitch.
But again, the problem is, look at the contrasting fortunes that Charit Asalanka had and Dhananjay De Silva had. Dhananjay De Silva is also an off spinner. But I think he was giving it more revs, the Acharit.
Yeah, Asalanka was definitely bowling it slower through the air.
Yeah, and that is why he created the chances. Dhananjay, on the other hand, he looked to just play it out. He just looked to contain the batters. He tried to build pressure at the other end so that Charit Asalanka could capitalize. And also you have Tikshana. All 4 different bowlers.
But with Tikshana, I've noticed one thing. He tends to do better on pitches which give a little bounce.
Yeah.
So a spin-friendly track doesn't really favor his style of bowling as much.
Mystery spinners never get it. Because Mendes never performed well on these kind of tricks, on these kind of tracks. Never. Mendes needed a flat deck, which would have a bit of skid.
Yeah.
That's why you would get that carom ball going. Same with Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya, because he used to bowl both off spin and leg spin. That's why he could get that much of purchase on
It's interesting, this track, with every wicket you learn something new about the track, because when I first saw that Shubman Gill wicket, I was like, okay, there is some grip over here, some patches, it's gonna grip.
Yeah.
Then that Rohit Sharma wicket made me believe, okay, it's skiddy because it stayed low, it just skid in, and Rohit couldn't do anything. It is a paradise, let's say, for spinners. The Indian spinners, and it's not going to be easy with whatever total that India finished with. I can tell you that Sri Lanka are not going to have a field day of sorts. Let's be clear about that, because if the ball starts to skid as it has been, and by the way, these wet conditions are only going to make the ball skid a little more.
Yep. which means
So-
batting could become easier. You're suggesting if it skids more, it'll come on much better on the bat.
No, but
No, that's not how it
it
works.
stayed low as well.
That's not how it works.
It gets harder to bat if the ball is skidding.
No, but then it comes on better to the bat. That means run scoring can become slightly easier.
Yeah, but skiddy is not exactly
No, no,
easy on the
no.
bat in the traditional sense, no?
Yeah.
Maybe, but then if you're bowling stump to
See,
stump,
what
then
you're
it's a
talking
problem.
about, if it's dry, it's not going to be dry anymore.
Yeah, but then
Because the pitch will have some moisture now.
Exactly.
But
so,
did they allow the moisture to come in? Because see, they covered the ground pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly, yeah.
So any kind of moisture that you would be thinking of, I think that would have not come. And anyway, looking at the way how they dry the ground, and after that, the Ketarama dries. If you cover it very quickly, it dries very quickly. There's not much of moisture, so that's why
So then I don't think you're going to see much change to the playing conditions. And I
you
think
won't. Yeah, you'll be the
the
same.
spinners will-
even if it's, I'm saying, even if it's the same, I think Aksar and Jadeja especially will hold the key today.
Yes, I mean look at Vellalage, same kind of thing, left arm orthodox variation. So that's why you cannot get away from that very easily. So the covers are coming off at this point in.
but only
But I think momentarily, because I think Nikhil had predicted that there would be
Covers
some
are coming on.
off.
I got scared.
You've been seeing so many of rain delays. That's why you will have to.
You've been traumatized by
Yeah.
rain delays.
Yep. Covers are coming off. I think we should start in the next 10 minutes.
That's
that
cool.
would be
That's
10-15
great.
minutes.
Yeah.
I think that would be optimistic, but let's see. I mean,
Yeah.
I think 10-15 minutes, but of course, if it doesn't rain anymore, then in a best case, you might actually get those 3 overs. Huh?
Yeah.
The spinners bowl.
You will. Because the over reductions have not started.
Yeah.
We were nowhere near.
Hopefully, it doesn't start raining in the mid innings.
Let it rain in the mid innings.
If
but
it has
stop.
to rain, let it rain in the middle.
No, I mean, what if it continues raining?
Then you can't help it.
Then India get out of jail.
Yeah. India were rescued big time then. That's the
Because
case.
again-
But still a long way away. We are about 3.5 hours away from that particular scenario at this point
True.
in time. So
A
remember.
long way off still.
Yeah, 10:27. That's the time for T20 match to resume or start. But now, after this, after the innings break, whenever that happens, if it starts to rain and it's a long delay, you will lose overs.
Yeah.
Now you're not losing any.
Can we switch
overs.
tabs?
Yeah, maybe we'll just see what is the latest update that we can get. So,
Refresh.
yeah. Yep.
Well,
so-
they're still coming off, but
They're
that's
still
about the
coming off.
extent.
Yeah,
of it.
another 7 minutes. I think we should start play. 7 or 8 minutes. So 6:23, right? It started. So 37 minutes lost, and that means you have another 33 minutes of a grace period. Then. Yep.
Are you not looking at 90?
No, that's only for India Pakistan.
No, I think it will be around that much.
We're also
No,
being
how?
joined
1
by-
hour 10 minutes, na normal. You already lost 37 minutes.
No,
with
that's
the grace
true.
period.
So 1 hour 80 minutes, no? Then
Yeah.
70 minutes.
Yeah. Cut 37 minutes off. Yep. Yeah, so Nikhil has joined us back from the Ketarama, and Nikhil, positive news on the rain. It's not raining now. We'll wait for that.
It's hanging again. It's hanging.
We can take the super chat.
Can you guys hear me? See me?
Yes,
yeah, we
Is
can,
is
we
my
can.
audio video fine? It's buffering.
It's all good.
No, it is actually.
Actually, now it's hung again. I said it too
lagging
soon.
quite a lot.
Hello.
Yeah, it's hung, Nikhil. It's hung.
He's not hanging.
Any better? Any better?
No,
Not at all.
Not really. Maybe Nikhil, the age-old method, reboot, restart.
it is.
He's
That's
gone.
happened. So, yep. Satish B is saying cannot play quality spin attack. Upcoming World Cup teams as Agar, Zampa, Rashid, Moin Ali, Ish Sodhi, Rachin Ravindra, by the way, left arm orthodox. Beware of that.
Mid Santner, by the way.
With
he's
Santner
forgetting.
also, 20-year-old broke the backbone. I mean, yes, absolutely. I mean, Vellalage is your under-19 captain for Sri Lanka and has captained very well in the recent
So
past.
he's
And
played
by the way,
under
he's not-
19. Your Patiran has played 2 under 19s, if I'm not wrong.
Patirana and Vellalage, same batch. 2020.
No, I think Patiran has played for under
Two different sides.
2 different.
2020.
Yes, 2 editions he's played under 19 for Sri Lanka.
Okay. So, you know, Vellalage and Patirana are from the same batch. The other one, he's also playing but in the different team, Tauhid Hirdoy. Tauhid Hirdoy also played in the 2022 under 19 World Cup batch. So, I think
Let's wait.
Why is Nikhil going in a boomerang kind of way? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So let's see.
Just so that
Maybe he's joining us live from Instagram instead of live view.
No, it's not happening.
Obviously.
No, there's no audio.
Now there's no audio.
It's a reverse.
Not happening.
No audio.
There's no audio.
Now it's
Now
fine.
it's there.
No video.
It's fine now.
Now it's there. Better.
Yes.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
So rain has stopped. All I wanted to tell you guys, they've started to remove some bits of cover. So that's great news. I hope it stays this way. Now I can see certain areas with clear clouds, clear skies. With clouds having disappeared. So who knows? Without any overs lost, India then comes out to bat, finishes their 3 overs. Because believe you me, they need it. 220 should be a total that they're looking at. So that's where the situation is. Akshar Patel, what if he can land a few lusty blows? And 220, then we've got a game on. Then.
Yep, we do. Akshar Patel is the key, and that's why 220, 230.
Would actually be a very part of
Very good total. And looking at the way how Vellalage got the ball to skate and to turn, you got Akshar and Kuldeep, Akshar and Jaddu who can do that. And then if you want variety in the form of Asalanka, you got Kuldeep who can get the ball to bounce. Remember the Jadeja dismissal in particular, that was bounce. Man, he gave it a big rip. So that's why if you want that kind of bounce and that kind of variation, you have Kuldeep in that sense. So and as Shubham is like saying, matches like this are the reason why Shreyas is so important to the team, and in World Cup, you will be in such situations more often all day, will not be 350 ones, where everybody will wash their hands in the river.
So I don't entirely agree with the thing that you won't get that many
That
spin
many
friendly
of these
tracks,
tracks.
but you will get at least 2 or 3, and on
At
those,
most 3.
But yeah, even if you get at most 3, there's 3 matches where your
Okay,
batsmen
That
are
too,
not,
I'm not too sure, if let's say Chennai would behave the way
you're playing Afghanistan.
in Delhi, that's fine. Ikana, we don't know anything about the Ikana at the moment.
Ikana, by the way-
It was relayed for a reason.
Yeah, but Ekana, by the way, you're playing England. So if it's relayed and it's a belter, good luck.
Baz and ball.
But again, what the point he's trying to make is about the importance of Shreyas Iyer against spinners, and
You needed a player like that.
playing quality spin bowling attacks. And of course, I don't think there's a debate there. He's been, if not one of the better, then the best, let's say,
Player of spin in your team
players
right
of
now.
spin in recent times. And yeah, truth be told, yes, he was missed by the team today.
Yep, he was. So let's see what are the playing conditions. I think no overs have been lost.
No overs will be
Nikhil,
lost.
in fact, we were just talking amongst ourselves as to what are the playing conditions for today. Are we looking at 90 minutes of buffer today, or the conventional 1 hour 10 minutes of buffer?
I think 1 hour 10 minutes. We tried to confirm that at the media box. We weren't given any clarity, but I think it'll be 1 hour 10 minutes. The usual buffer time then for the game to start. But the good news is what I see. It's the wind is picked up, and that is actually what has helped. Remember when I was telling you earlier, there were dark clouds which were heading towards the ground, so it's not going to clear very soon. Suddenly you had a gust of wind coming. And that has actually helped clear those clouds, and suddenly I see clear skies, so that's a good sign.
Yep. So luckily the wind picked up, and you are not going to see that much of rain. And that's, as I said, it's fickle weather in Colombo. I mean, when it rains and it doesn't rain, we all don't know about it. So
Now that we're looking at almost 40 minutes of time lost, will we be looking at a shortened mid innings?
yes, you will instead of 40 minutes, you'll have I think
20
30 minutes.
25, because the other day as well, I can't recall which match.
Yeah, they had a shortened
They had a
mid-innings,
shortened mid innings, and that day, if I'm not wrong, there wasn't any rain interruption. So it surprised me why there would be, because perhaps I'm thinking then again for that particular night, maybe later in the night there was some sort of prediction of rain, which is why they probably cut it short as far as that mid innings break is concerned. But Nikhil, in lighter vein, is there somebody over there in the media box to answer all your Met related questions, to give you clarity about the weather now finally?
Nobody.
All of these,
Nobody.
there is more
Nobody.
of
Everyone. There is everyone shooting in the dark. That's what happened. I've been very occupied today morning after I did the television show. because I'd lost my accreditation.
Oh.
So somebody had nicked it off me while I was doing the live. I'd kept it on my bag, and somebody smartly nicked it off while I was concentrating doing the TV show. So I'd put in a complaint, but lo and behold, the security here, outstanding job. They were able to locate my accreditation. Somebody had stolen it, was wearing it and walking around so that he could get access to various parts of the ground. They caught him, but then he ran away. So they could not catch him. So they only managed to get the accreditation. This badge is new, but the accreditation is actually cut from one side. It got cut from that hook area because they caught all the accreditation. They were looking at it and he ran. So the accreditation remained in the security guard's hand. He ran with the lanyard. And that ensured that, there was this cut. That cut that happens on top?
Yes.
So it's cut from there. I've temporarily put it together and got a new lanyard. And so now I've got my accreditation back. Otherwise, I would have been joining you live from outside the stadium, not from inside the compound. So it's been an eventful day for me. Much like the Indian batting, 80 for no loss. And then you are in a situation where you can't even reach 200, maybe all out before that.
Yep, 117 for 9. That's the progress they made after that partnership between Gill and Rohit. 80 runs. That was the best partnership. Then you had 63, I think, between Rahul and...
This whole episode that Nikhil went through sounds so Bollywood and sounds so subcontinent that it's unreal.
It is.
Yeah. Though, it would have been much worse in India. Had I lost it in India, there was no chance I would have got it back.
That's correct.
There's no security. There's no security that would have been able to locate accreditation lost in a stadium among so many people. No chance in hell. Here it was so efficient that within like an hour or 2 hours, they found it. They found somebody wearing it. How they did it? Because there's so many people wearing some sort of accreditation, vendors, security, so many people, right? But they found it. So hats off to Sri Lankan security. And, I have seen Sri Lankan security for a long time. I remember coming in here early 2000s first time. And that was at the peak of, the LTTE versus the Sri Lankan government clashes that would happen. And at that time, every few meters, there used to be these checks and they would check our cars and who's sitting and ask for the ID and all of that. So, their security was very tight that time. Now you don't have any more of that. That civil war is over. So you don't see any of that happening right now. But the security still in stadiums, everywhere, multiple layers they have. So outstanding security. For them it was like finding a needle in a haystack. They found it. So salute to them.
But stay on, Nikhil. We've got an update for everyone. The broadcaster does inform us that in just a couple of minutes from now, so we're at 7:02, 7:05 is when you're looking at an inspection that will be conducted by the match officials, and then we'll get more clarity as to when play will possibly resume. But as we've been talking here on Sports Day, doesn't look like you're looking at a 90-minute buffer. About 50 minutes lost, I think, in totality from the time that play got interrupted due to rain. 40? So roughly about 40-45 minutes being lost, but still well within the buffer time of 90 minutes that you have for this particular
70
match.
minutes. 90
70,
was
yeah.
Pakistan.
70 minutes. So still well within the buffer time, and you will possibly be looking at a full game of cricket being played. The inspection, in fact, we can see the match officials on the ground now, and the inspection is just about to begin. They're just chatting up with the groundsman at the moment, and very shortly now the inspection will begin.
Mostly, I would say by...
I just want to tell you one thing. If today it's going to be an, I think, interesting chase, and because India slightly subpar today, if India were to lose today, and you'd expect India to beat Bangladesh, who goes out then? Who goes out, right? And believe you me, if that happens, again, you will hear, it's happened before also, when it starts from Pakistan side that, India lost this game on purpose and they wanted to, kick Pakistan out of the tournament. It's happened so many times. It happened in the last Asia Cup, World Cups, T20, wherever. So I think that conversation will start. Be ready for it. Keep checking Twitter trends. If India were to lose today, that conversation will definitely start. Because then the worst hit is going to be Pakistan, not so much India.
Correct.
For once, it's too much to expect Pakistan fans or Indian fans to think that Sri Lanka played better and won. For once, in their sorry existence. I don't know why. It's too hard for them. It's too hard.
He'll add this Siddharth be a conspiracy theory only, and like there have been so many in the past.
Yeah.
Everything is a conspiracy theory.
No.
Everything. For Pakistan and India, everything is a conspiracy. That's the way how it is.
I sense that you're about to lose rationality any moment now.
No?
Never
It's
had
true.
it.
It's
You're on the
true.
fringes.
No one wants to know the truth. That's it.
See, people are entitled to their
Opinion.
no, you can't even call it an opinion, formulating their own conspiracy theories. But simple fact of the matter is, India always.
Siddharth, you know what? I think now I'm gonna have water, some sort of a table kept right on the sides, because as long as this Asia Cup continues, I think you're gonna have some temper issue at some point. So some water or something,
Don't keep water. Keep other things.
I can't.
or the aerated drink
You
that
are
you like.
missing the point.
What?
When I speak the truth, there is no temper issue at all in it.
Nahi.
What is the truth? We all can cheer on that India-Pakistan happened. Boss, it was an unfair game.
Arey, acha theek
As
hai.
unfair as it
Arey,
can get.
bas.
So, there is no temper issue. I
Okay,
spoke the
time for
truth,
me to
I
go.
spoke
Bye bye. You guys keep fighting.
the- Yeah.
He has that option.
Yeah, you do. Because, see, as I said, I'm only criticizing the conspiracy theory or the trend that they will do. Nikhil said the right thing, that they will trend this.
Yeah, for sure.
It happened even to India in 2012 in the World T20. Remember, Australia had to cross a certain target and against Pakistan, and they just managed to do it.
Play to resume at 7:15
7:15
p.m. That means no overs lost.
No, was lost.
Right.
Yep. No.
So that's the breaking news update, guys. We've been informed. 7:15 p.m. That is in about 8 minutes' time. You'll have the match resume, assuming, of course.
no further rain delays.
But again, 3 overs. I think now they'll get to the end of the innings, and then you might just have a shortened
25
mid-innings.
minute, 25 minute innings.
Yeah. And then play goes on as expected, on time.
Yes, on time.
She said it.
She
Before
said it,
time,
yeah, she
even
jinxed it.
before time, I don't mind that.
Before time.
Now she's jinxed it even more. Excellent.
Okay, innings break in fact will be 10 minutes is what Nikhil
Wow.
says.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
10
T20
minutes,
game.
yes.
Yeah, in fact, T20s are longer. Those are 15 minutes.
Yeah, so play starts at 7:15, innings break 10 minutes. That's
Very
the
good.
message from Nikhil at the moment.
You can have a cup of
Excellent.
chai and some biscuits and
Yeah, I am freezing in here.
It's excellent. I mean,
It's
10
not
overs.
excellent.
10 overs.
I'm
10,
freezing in
10,
here.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
10 overs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. I mean, to be fair, they've lost a lot of time here. It just
50
makes sense.
minutes, actually.
It just makes sense to kind of
Exactly.
curtail the.
And that, this
You
is
lost
one of
52 minutes, right?
Yeah. In fact, if you go by 7:15, yeah, around 50.
no, it's actually a very smart decision, and this is the way it should be.
It should
I mean,
be.
that's how it should be, but lots of things should be a certain way, and they're not.
It's never
They
like
don't.
that.
Yeah.
it's
And they
never.
don't, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah, they are not. So, yep. In
Like they say,
Shouldn't have been.
it would have been, had it should have been.
Would have, could have, should have.
Would have, could have, should have. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But
So
yeah.
7 minutes, right? You're 7 minutes away from the restart.
Restart,
I'm
yeah.
bad at math.
So Akshar Patel will be the key then, because he has to ensure that they get to 220. 220, 230 is your winning total in this.
He could actually be your
particular
match winner, I feel.
3
Yeah.
overs.
With the ball, sure.
With the ball as well, because see,
But
again,
with the bat, if he does it,
he's done better than some of the other batters to be just sticking around for now, and has the potential to get you some more runs. Vital few runs, by the way, which could be the difference maker. And then with the ball is when I am looking forward to Akshar Patel in this particular match. Well, I think it's a tailor-made situation for him.
Yep. So that's the thing. But India's batting approach today, I think on this wicket, again, it begs the question as to you're not going to encounter these wickets in the subcontinent during the World Cup.
No, but you
not
get,
much.
Not much, but even then, see, like say,
But you will.
you'll get certain
Yeah.
tracks where you'll get more resistance than most. Okay, Delhi
Delhi might.
Delhi definitely will consistently give you. Chennai, I'm not too sure. Lucknow also, I'm not too
But
sure.
remember, Delhi around October, November, you can get flat decks. It happened, remember, India, 2011.
Oh, yeah.
260, 270 was easily made in Delhi. And
Correct.
that too, and Delhi, Mohali produced the highest scoring.
See, but Mohali consistently has always been a pacier track.
Yeah.
That's how it's been in recent times, so that's okay. Delhi, if it's slightly spin friendly, you will struggle, especially considering you're playing Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
And
Yep. And you're going to play Bangladesh on 19th in Pune, right? Pune, MCA Stadium. That's also kind of a
Slightly slower, lower deck.
and then you are going up to the pace and bounce of Dharamshala after that 3 days later.
Dharamshala, who are you playing?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Oh dear.
You're playing the likes of Saudi, Henry, Ferguson, and Bolt, along with maybe Rachin Ravindra /
And
Santner.
Mitchell Santner.
And Ish Sodhi also.
Sodhi.
Yep. So about 5 minutes, let's take a couple of questions. Welcome Ekanayake from New Zealand is saying, rain better go away. If it gets called off, it will uncover the ugliness of this competition more than losing to SL.
Agreed.
Yeah, but then
That is true.
Yeah, because if it gets
That's a
rained
valid
off, then
point.
Sri Lanka would feel very hard done by.
very hard done. See, but anyway, if it is rained off, India and Sri Lanka get 3 points. Then Pakistan are 1 step closer to elimination.
And even if the SLC doesn't come out and say much, it's the fans that are going to be very
Oh, yeah.
upset about it. And if they decide to, cause some sort of commotion about it, then that would be really
There will be an uproar for sure.
Yeah.
But what uproar and commotion.
No, not uproar in the sense, not that they'll start rioting, but you're definitely going to see, unhappy voices on social media.
It's been there, right? Isn't it been there right from the very beginning?
And it's been there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean from August 31 onwards till September 12, the common thing has been 3 basic trends. Colombo, rain, weather. It's been less about the contest except for one particular instance when they said India is scared. That is the only time it trended, otherwise it's only been the weather. So that is why. Now GGK said only left-hander in top 6 cannot play spin. Ishan can't rotate. Hope Iyer gets fit fast.
Actually, but to be fair, Ishan today chose the worst day to actually have the kind of day he did, because with the kind of knock that KL had against Pakistan and the fact that he was keeping wickets.
Yeah. As I said, if Shreyas Iyer was fit, Ishan was not going to get a game.
Yeah.
And by the way, with this, his streak of 4 consecutive 50s, it's done.
Yeah, by the way, comment of the day from Shri, who said that all of us should get a pay for the Asia Cup as all matches are going beyond time. I feel that sentiment.
Let's not.
Of course, but it's not like it'll happen, but it's nice to see people acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't happen. Padmesh is like those saying.
Voice of sports.
Rohit's 53 now looks like 115.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But by the way, also you have to remember that Rohit and all also were hitting at a time when the Pacers were on.
Yeah.
If you will go over the economy of the Pacers versus the spinners, there's not a single Pacer who's not been expensive today, all in the
Yeah.
6-7 range.
Yep.
Whereas not one spinner is probably going above 5 right now.
Exactly.
It's interesting how, I was seeing some of the numbers for this particular ground. How actually, from all the wickets that have been taken at this ground, 66% have in fact been taken by Pacers. And just the remaining 34 then by spinners.
Yep.
And today, that number would definitely have changed by now, because what we saw today was-
nine wickets from spin.
Yep.
You're looking at
And from 2
90%.
bowlers.
Exactly. 2 bowlers.
90% in today's match, again, not going by convention, by
See, even in the previous match, apart from Bumrah and Hardik's wickets, 5 were taken by Kuldeep. And one more was taken by Jaddu.
No, Shardul got a wicket.
Shardul.
Shardul got the wicket
So
of
5 and
Rizwan.
3. Because only 8 batters could bat for Pakistan. So 3 for.
So it was
the
Hardik,
Pacers.
Shardul, and I think Bumrah.
Bumrah got Imam. So Imam ul Haq got dismissed by Bumrah, Shardul dismissed Rizwan, and Hardik dismissed
Babar.
5 were taken by spin. And if you look at the Sri Lanka Bangladesh encounter, that was the game where pace dominated.
What game? Say that
The
again.
Sri Lanka Bangladesh at
Lanka,
Colombo, the
Bangladesh.
first Super 4 game in Colombo on 9th. That was by pace. Hassan Mahmood,
Yeah,
Ashwin got
8 wickets they shared,
Yeah.
if I remember
But
correctly.
Again, if I remember correctly, that match, Sri Lanka, most of their spinners got the wickets.
3 from Chikshana, 3 from Patirana.
Didn't
Charit, Vellalage got 1.
one.
So 4 from Vellalage and Chikshana then. So in that sense, today 9 days, I mean Charit Asalanka, as I had said,
He got one. He had 1 wicket.
he had 1 wicket in 38 ODIs. Until Efeklukweo in 2021.
By the way, all 5 of his wickets have come in Colombo.
Yeah. At the Premada, at the Ketarama.
Same state.
At the Ketarama. So, okay, so Chikshana is going to bowl this, and I think Asalanka will bowl the 49th.
And that's it. Then
And
Chikshana will finish
bowl
off.
out.
Yeah.
No Patirana.
No, why? Look at Patirana's.
Why would you?
Patirana's economy is 9.
Yorker
Dasun
to
Shanaka was 8. Kasan Raja was 7.5.
Because I'll tell you why. If a spinner can bowl, Aksar will now have a license to go for the big hits. That's why.
Yep.
A Patirana will be quite difficult to hit for somebody like an Aksar or a Siraj.
Not for
Nail
Aksar,
one
maybe.
Yorker.
Not for Aksar, maybe.
Maybe you can control
Why would you
his-
take a chance when your spinners
control
are
your
excelled?
aggressive hitting then, because he'll try a big shot against the pacer, he could get out. But then against a spinner, he can go straight down the ground. That's why.
Oh.
That's a wide. That.
A white toes.
But this kind of wickets is an anti-Tikshana wicket.
He generally does better on flatter decks.
Yeah. Like for example, he did well in Delhi. That was a flat deck, and it was not a spin-friendly deck. It was a batting-friendly deck with lot of assistance for no one at this point in time. So that's the way it is. But if 220 is scored, then I think it will be.
Anyway, we'll
advantage
take
India.
your leave because we'll have to join you back again
Very soon, yeah.
So we'll go get some tea. You guys do the same and join us back in about 10-15 minutes time.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Please don't
Jonas.
forget.
See you soon. Bye bye.